We started looking for property back in the mid-'80s. I love to hunt and I love the outdoors, so I started looking for land, Joan and I did. And I saw this ad in the paper. It was about 400 acres in this block right here. And originally I had a partner, other than my wife. We purchased the land together. And as time went on, it was more conducive for both of us that we just go ahead and divide it up. The original property was 400 acres, and I got 2 and he got 2.
It was a piece of dirt, but at that point, an affordable piece of dirt. The trees were gone, so that made it affordable for us.
It had been high graded. The timber that was left was not growing very well. Before we could plant, we had to burn. We burned it, then planted it, and then the next year we sprayed it by air with some arsenal according to what the Forestry Commission recommended. And when we did that, the trees really took off. Joan and I actually planted seedlings, and I don't know, 6, 8, 10 inches tall. And now they're 30 years old and 100 feet, 50 feet. It's just amazing what the trees have done. We bought hardwoods on the river to leave our buffer along the river. And there's a big hardwood area back in here that at the time was too wet for them to get. So it was left. And we're very fortunate. It's really some huge, pretty beautiful hardwoods back in here. We purchased 80 acres after this place, then purchased another 240, and then purchased another 60, and then another 120. My primary objective, according to Treasure Forest and Tree Farm, is wildlife, and secondary is timber. So there was very little wildlife here when we purchased it, but I keep something for them all year. The food plots are planted in a clover, a warm weather clover, and as long as we get rain, the clover does really well in the summer. And of course, wintertime we have the the clover still there, but we also have wheat and oats that we plant with it. We plant chufas for the turkeys. For doves, we plant the sorghum. We plant millet. Plant sesame. And this is the same type of sesame that you would get on your hamburger buns. It's a small seed, but it has pods all the way up the stalk, makes a tremendous amount of seed. The dove field, had some time on my hands and decided I would put a power line up. And I got some poles and put a line up, and the doves naturally gonna find a wire to sit on. And you put decoys on the wire and it works really well. I love for people to share the property as long as they do what I ask. I really do think that I'm supposed to do that. To have a place like this and keep it to yourself, I don't think that's what God intended. So I like sharing it. I have kids coming, which is most importantly, come all year to learn about wildlife and to learn about nature, learn about the woods. I have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts earning badges. I've got a trail along the river here that groups use. The last one to use it was my youth minister at church. They walk the trail along the river, and that's what we use for tree identification and a nature trail, nature walk.
We talked about a population that might not ever have the opportunity to be here or to own it for real. There's just this much. So the Coffee County Schools have been involved in a wonderful, wonderful project where local forestry group, just like you, go and have forestry in the classroom and do a number of exercises and activities about the forest, and then they follow it with classroom in the forest, and they bring the students, school buses, lunches and all, to the farm or to the forest to do another set of activities. And every fifth grader in Coffee County gets the opportunity to visit the forest.
The Treasure Forest organization has been really helpful. When we first got the place, we were approached by the Forestry Commission when they realized that we were trying to do as they recommended. You may want to apply for Treasure Forest. And so we did. And they came, Nick and his crew came, inspected it, and we were able to gain Treasure Forest status. And we didn't want to stop there. I wanted to have the best tree farm that I could have. And I wanted other people to enjoy it and be proud of it. And I wanted the Forestry Commission to be proud of it. If you come out here and spend time here, there's no way you can be out in nature and not see God in it. I mean, there's no way.
Well, we're both really convicted about if you're going to do it right. And so when somebody gives, a professional gives us direction, then we're going to abide by that. And for other people in the profession to recognize the diligence and the extra mile that you go to try to do according to specifications or recommendations to have the best harvest or the healthiest trees or be free of insects or whatever requirement. What a huge acknowledgement for us and endorsement of the work that he's done primarily. But yeah, we're delighted to be a part of a professional organization, a part of a group that recognizes standards.